Hey guys, Wrestling Throwdown here. I'm Haley and I'm going to do another one of my videos that I told you guys about last week. It's pretty much the bonus video, I guess you can say. It's pretty much my thoughts on a few stuff that's been happening this past week, like rumors and stuff that's going around that I pretty much have not talked about on either Raw or TNA. And then plus I'm also going to I'm going to kind of throw an NXT and SmackDown in, just like the key points of what's worth pretty much talking about. Um, this video might be a little bit longer than the others just because I have a lot to say. Because something big obviously is going on. It's a big rumor that's going around. It's been happening for the past, I guess you can say it's been happening for about a week, but really it's just been kind of announced the past 2-3 days. Well, really what I've noticed. And I know people are probably like, well, why hasn't she, posted anything in the group or anything like that? And I was thinking, and I was just like, well, you know what? This topic is, I really want to do a video on this. I really want to talk about this. And I mean, I know some of you don't watch, and everything. I know Ben, he doesn't like listening to people talk to a camera, I guess. That's what he told me. So he probably wants to hear my thoughts in the group. But for everybody else, I'm going to be very as detailed as I can about my whole thoughts on this whole thing, what's going on. And if you haven't, well, you're kind of in for a surprise. I don't know if it's going to happen for sure. It is a rumor, but it's been going, it's not just on my website, it's on all wrestling websites that I've noticed, and it's pretty big. They're pretty much talking about it. And maybe some of you know what I'm talking about, some of you maybe have no idea. I think I'm going to save it for the end though, because I really want, my ending to be really good and great, so I think I'm going to save the best for last, and you guys might everyone's probably going to skip to the end now. But I hope you don't skip to the end. I hope you watch this whole thing, because a lot of this stuff that I want to talk about is worth mentioning. And it's not just I'm not just going to do the whole SmackDown and the whole NXT. I'm just going to pick bits and pieces of stuff that I thought was worth mentioning, or I have something to say pretty much on it. Okay, I think we're going to start off with Charlotte and Bayley on NXT. We'll start with NXT first. Well, Bayley, as you guys know, Bayley had her rematch against Charlotte on NXT, and she lost again. I had a feeling she would, because I was actually shocked that they actually gave her another shot at it, because I thought obviously Sasha Banks was going to face Charlotte, and obviously they're setting up for Sasha Banks to obviously face Charlotte and probably beat her. At least that's what I see. Because Sasha Banks is the only person right now, other than I think than Bayley, that really is capable of beating Charlotte, because Charlotte is an amazing, amazing wrestler. She's obviously the daughter of the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, and obviously he's one of my favorites too, one of the greatest there is, and if not the greatest. And obviously she's his daughter, so obviously you knew there was going to be some talent there. Well, she's great. She's been very, very, very good. NXT women's champion. I don't want to say Divas champion, because it's not. It's NXT women's champion, which it should be. It should just be the women's title instead of the Divas title. Oh, that would be the first thing I change to, if I was obviously on creative team and everything. But she's pretty much turned face. Charlotte is face now. She seems to be, she's hugging Bayley. And it's funny because I actually thought they might turn Bayley heel. But then I'm like, well, what's the point? She's kind of like, a John Cena, and, she's good for kids. She obviously, the kids like her and everything like that. They get behind her. And she's just, I can't really see Bayley being heel. It would be interesting, but there's really no need for it right now, because obviously Sasha Banks is facing Charlotte and she's getting ready for that. And Sasha Banks is the heel. So there would really be no point to turn Bayley heel. But Bayley did actually get attacked backstage against, by Sasha Banks. So obviously Sasha Banks obviously is still probably having a little bit of a tension with Charlotte. So obviously we'll see where that goes there. I definitely see Sasha Banks beating Charlotte. If she doesn't win in the first match, she's definitely going to win the next time if they have more than one match. Because I don't see any other way. I don't see who else could beat her. If they didn't let Bayley beat her, obviously they're not going to. I mean, who else? I mean, all they really have is Alexa Bliss. And she's obviously, she's too new. She's like a rosebud. I haven't really seen her that much. And that new Irish girl, she kind of looks, I mean, she can almost be like a Sheamus' sister, I guess. But, and she hasn't been on. So, I mean, is there anyone else I'm forgetting? Maybe I'm forgetting someone. I don't know. But I feel like those are like the only two, because obviously Paige has moved up. Emma's moved up, you know, and Charlotte's going to be moved up. They really need to get some more NXT divas, definitely. I'm kind of getting worried because after Bayley leaves and Sasha leaves, it's going to be dead. Definitely. Because Summer Rae's out too. I mean, unless one of the divas, unless they like redo a diva, like maybe Alicia Fox, they might redo over there, or Cameron, she needs it. Or even Eva Marie down there, which she should be down there. Obviously they only moved her up for Total Divas. Or even Rosa Mendez, you know, bring her down there, you know, get some training. So then we can actually have a good Divas roster, you know, in WWE on the main roster. But that's pretty much my opinions on it. I definitely see Sasha Banks winning, because if not, I really do not know what's going to happen, unless they do the same thing that they did with Paige, not have Charlotte beat anybody and then have her obviously relinquish it, and then they have a tournament and like Bayley or Sasha wins. But other than that, I don't see anyone else beating Charlotte other than Sasha Banks, because it just wouldn't make sense. There's only two divas other than Bayley that I can think of right now, and that's, like I said, Alexa Bliss and the Irish girl. And if I'm forgetting someone, I'm sorry. I really feel like that is the only, like, the important ones. I'm trying to think of like the ones that are like relevant like every week, or at least every other week. And like I said, Alexa Bliss is a rosebud, so they're not really going to do much with her. And the Irish girl, I haven't seen her in weeks, so not really sure. But yeah, I definitely see obviously Charlotte losing against Sasha Banks. I'm not really crazy about Sasha Banks. I know I think is it Paul Jaser that likes her? I think it might be. I'm sorry, Paul, if you don't like her. I think you were the one that said it, though. But I know one of you told me that you really like her and you really think she's good. She's not. I mean, she's definitely better than some of the divas, obviously, we have on the main roster right now. But I don't know. I feel like Bayley's better than her, and I feel like Bayley deserves it more. And I feel like the only reason why they're not letting Bayley beat her is because they want Sasha Banks to prove that she's, you know, better than Charlotte, you know, with their whole feud, you know, how they used to be best friends. And obviously it's just it's a typical WWE storyline thing. Nothing too difficult to understand there. I mean, it's typical WWE. They never want to change anything. So that's pretty much that. Alrighty. Adrian Neville faced Tyson Kidd in a last match for the title. Like, that was Tyson Kidd's last opportunity for the NXT title. And Adrian Neville won, of course. I mean, why wouldn't he win? Because they don't really have anything for him right now. So, I mean, I don't really understand. I mean, if the only person who I could see beating him right now is Sami Zayn. Speaking of Sami Zayn, he actually interfered in this match. Titus O'Neil was in the audience. Why he was in the audience, I have no idea. Maybe they're going to start a feud with him and Adrian Neville. I'm not really sure. It's kind of bizarre, though. It's actually pretty funny, though, because obviously the bunny technically is Sami Zayn right now, but it's obviously going to be turned into Darren Young. But it's kind of funny that, you know, how Sami Zayn and Titus O'Neil had that little confrontation. I thought that was kind of funny. But I'm not really sure what he was doing in the audience. It was kind of bizarre. I don't know if like they're putting him down to NXT, but then again, what would they do with Heath Slater? I mean, no, they just totally messed up Heath Slater. They push him for like a week or two, and then they destroy him again and push him for. And you know, people could say the only reason that he got that win was because obviously Dean Ambrose needed to pick that match, but they could have done something with it. I mean, you guys, I know I wasn't the only one that heard the pop he got when he beat Seth Rollins. Heath Slater is, I'm telling you, the fans like Heath Slater. And WWE is one of those people that they just, and Dolph, they're actually pushing, obviously. They're obviously listening to the fans with Dolph Ziggler. And they listened a little bit with Zack Ryder, too. I mean, he was relevant for some time, and then now he's just, you know, whatever. He used to be, in the very beginning, Adam Rose's bunny. But other than that, you know, they didn't really. And Heath Slater, that could have been the most perfect time to push him. I don't understand. Like, him and Justin Gabriel were such a great tag team. Turn him face, do something. And no, they're going to put him with Titus O'Neil. No offense to Titus O'Neil. I know Joe really likes him. But they're going to put him with Titus O'Neil and then have him be some kind of comedy gimmick tag team that only wins once in a while to Los Matadores. I mean, that's a joke, right? Because half the time they won't even beat them. They won't even let them beat them. And it's just like, are you kidding me? They can't even beat Los Matadores? It's just like this team is irrelevant. I mean, at least let them beat that. But they're having this whole feud with Adam Rose right now, the bunny. So maybe something will happen. Obviously, when Darren Young turns out to be the bunny, when he's ready to come back. I still feel like Darren Young deserves more than that. But where I'm getting at is I don't know why Titus O'Neil was I kind of got off track there. Sorry, guys. I don't know why. Well, I didn't really get off track because this was a SmackDown thing again. Obviously, they had another match with Adam Rose and the bunny and everything. But I don't get why Titus O'Neil was at ringside. I mean, does anybody else? I mean, is he going back to NXT? Is he going to be feuding with Adrian Neville? I mean, what are they doing? And now this wouldn't be a bad thing to take a few of their jobbers and put them back in NXT roster. I don't know how well it's going to be because obviously you got Prince Deviant, or I should say Finn Balor, and Kenta, and I forgot how to pronounce Kenta's WWE name, so sorry about that, guys. But you got those two great guys, and then Kevin Steen's coming in. You got Sami Zayn, you got Adrian Neville, you got Tyler Breeze, you got Tyson Kidd. So it's going to be kind of a slim chance, I guess you can say, because Kevin Steen is definitely going to be coming very soon. I also want to talk about Kevin Steen too, about a rumor I heard. But yeah, I don't know what was the deal with Titus O'Neil, but Sami Zayn obviously helped helped Adrian Neville. I was really hoping for a heel turn. I really was. And not really for Sami Zayn, but I mean, even if Sami Zayn turned heel, I would have been happy. Just something to get these two to just, it's a joke. I just don't want, these two need to fight. And one of them, for that to happen, one of them needs to turn heel. Yes, it would be better for Adrian Neville to turn heel, but it's probably going to be the other way around. It's probably Sami Zayn's probably going to turn heel. I think that's a stupid idea, but obviously Sami Zayn's probably going to be still upset about losing and everything, about Adrian Neville, cheating him out of the victory for the triple threat. Or was it? No, it was a fatal four-way, sorry. The fatal four-way. So I feel like Sami Zayn's obviously not going to let that go. And Sami Zayn, I definitely see a heel turn in the very near future. Adrian Neville, I really don't even know what to say about him anymore. You guys have heard it. You guys know I don't like him. And it's not even like, if they actually did something with him, I wouldn't really mind it. I mean, it's just they don't do anything with him. They don't have anything for him. He can't talk. The only thing, I mean, he's talented, but really the only thing that catches my eye, like I said, is the finishing move. Other than that, he does not catch my eye. And I don't get why some of these people are so obsessed with this guy, you know, because he's really nothing. I feel like Sami Zayn's way better than him. I really do. And I feel like they made a really bad mistake giving that title to Adrian Neville before Sami Zayn. Adrian Neville's already had the tag team NXT titles twice. Why he is still not on the main roster? Well, obviously, you know, because he obviously is they lost all hope in him. They really don't know what they're doing with him, and I mean, it's sad to say, but it's the truth. Okay, I guess I'll talk about Kevin Steen too. So since we're on NXT, Kevin Steen, I did hear that they're keeping his name. I was actually shocked, like they're actually keeping Kevin Steen for the name. I'm not really sure why they would do that because WWE's changed every single thing, but I'm happy. I really am glad that they actually decided to keep Kevin Steen's name because I really like Kevin Steen. I like all three of these guys. I like Kenta, you know, Finn Balor / Prince Devitt, and obviously Kevin Steen. But I was actually kind of interested that they chose this one to keep. I actually think Kenta should have been, if they had to pick one, Kenta should have had his name stayed the same. And I know a lot of people were obviously still upset about the Prince Devitt changing his name, but I don't know. I kind of like Finn Balor. It's kind of growing on me. But yeah, I'm kind of excited that they're actually, I mean, it's just a rumor, so I don't know if it's like 100% true, but that is what's going around right now, that WWE, when he decides to come up, I think they said he's going to come up in the next like 2-ish months or something like that. They want to wait a tad bit because they don't want to have 3 big stars, like obviously debut all at once. And I agree with that, you know, because Kenta hasn't obviously been in there for no more than like, what, a month? And, Finn Balor, he's only been, I don't know, like, he hasn't even really made his debut yet. I mean, he has, but it's not on taped. It's like a November, it's like another month or something. So, obviously, they want to wait, obviously, I would think, for Kevin Steen, because it's not good to, like, always play all your, you know, like a chess game. It's not good to, like, throw all your kings and your queens at the player and lose them all, you know, put your rookies out first and then your knights and then whatever. But, or your pawns. Why did I say rookies? Pawns. But you know where I'm getting at. It's not good to obviously put all your main talent, who are obviously going to be all huge, huge stars in the very near future. But, yeah, that's pretty much that with Kevin Steen. I am happy that he's keeping his name the same. I think this is like the first time that WWE has done this. I can't remember an indie star ever keeping their name the same. I think this is like the first time. I don't know if it's just like a thing where like it grew on them, or I'm not really sure. I'm actually kind of interested because, you know, WWE likes to obviously make names because then they own the name. And then so obviously when the people leave, they can't use the name, and it's for a specific reason. So I actually thought that was kind of interesting because I can't remember. I mean, maybe I'm going crazy here. Maybe someone else can tell me, but Kevin Steen is the only name that I can think of that they're actually keeping the same. That I've actually known, I guess, because I haven't heard of anybody their names stay the same. But that's pretty much it for NXT. I guess we'll move to SmackDown. Let's see. John Cena and Dean Ambrose had a little get together in the ring, I guess you can say. Pretty much John Cena made a truce with him and said pretty much, we need to stop fighting over one guy. And he said pretty much whoever gets to him first. Either if I get to him first, I get to him first, or if you get to him first, you get to him first. And before he could shake his hand, the Authority came out, you know, Kane, Randy Orton, and Seth. Well, they didn't actually come out. They were backstage. I do want to talk about Seth's facial expression. What was up with that? Why was he like so upset? Did anybody else notice that? Was that am I just going crazy here, or was it just random? I don't know. Like, he was like beyond mad, and he wouldn't say anything. He just had a look on his face, like he was like so upset. And I don't know why he was so upset, because he had his briefcase back. I don't know if it was just, I don't know. It was just kind of bizarre. I thought it was bizarre. I don't know. maybe because they're both gaining on, I don't know, but he should be happy. I mean, he obviously he curb stomped both of their heads into his briefcase, so I feel like he should be happy. I just thought that was bizarre. I feel like that almost would have been like something like maybe happened before they obviously filmed the backstage segment. I feel like maybe something happened in real life. Maybe like Triple H pissed him off or something. I don't know. I feel like something could have happened because it was just kind of bizarre that he was just upset and pissed off. I don't know. Maybe I was just the only one who thought that, but I thought it was bizarre. And pretty much Kane and Randy pretty much say that Dean said that John Cena was talentless, and that he couldn't wrestle his way out of a box, I think he said. And so obviously that got John Cena upset, and then he said John Cena said that he called Dean crazy and stuff like that. Pretty much for them to get obviously not trust each other and hate each other, blah blah blah. And then they made a tag team match with those two versus Randy and Kane versus obviously Dean and John Cena, pretty much a rematch for Raw. And obviously Seth came out through this match, and John Cena chased him backstage, leaving Dean alone in the ring against Kane and Randy, and obviously he got brutally attacked. And then they ran out of the ring, and then John Cena came back, and that's pretty much that. So obviously John Cena and Dean are obviously going to have a nice little confrontation. Obviously Monday they're not going to like each other very much. At least Dean's not going to like John Cena very much for leaving him out there. I would think not, anyways. I guess we can talk about the Paige and versus Naomi match. I was actually kind of happy though to see Naomi. I don't know where she has been, but it really makes me sad that they just like completely trashed her. I mean, she's so talented. Naomi is such a talented girl, and they completely killed it after Paige obviously came back, and then Naomi just never, and the whole Cameron thing, that just killed it too. That just like brutally just killed it. And then obviously Naomi hasn't been in a title picture or really in any feud or match or anything I mean, her and Cameron's feud only lasted like 2 weeks. And then they brought it back like 3 months later and just had a random match. And that was it. I thought that was bizarre. I really did. I thought that was bizarre. And they'll do that sometimes to certain tag teams. I've noticed like people who obviously if the people don't care about them, if they're not like relevant and stuff, they'll just be like, oh, we'll just throw some kind of stupid storyline in and then just break up in 2 weeks and then be done. And it's just pretty much to obviously make them single and not obviously be in a tag team anymore. It's just bizarre though. And I love how they put all this in Total Divas too. It's just crazy. But Alicia Fox is obviously, it looks like she's Paige's ringside valet now. It's funny because Paige is acting a lot like AJ now, obviously, because she's having like people come with her to the ring and everything like that. Like obviously Tamina did to AJ, and then obviously AJ's the face now, and she's running to say that Naomi and everything like that. And that's pretty much that. I don't know if they're going to obviously keep Alicia Fox and Paige together. I mean, it's interesting and everything like that. I'm a huge fan of Paige. She's obviously my favorite right now. AJ, I'm not really sure what they're doing with her. She's supposed to be leaving. I keep hearing that she's still supposed to be leaving to obviously start a family with CM Punk. But I really don't know what the hell is going on with that whole storyline, rumor, whatever it is, because it seems like they're obviously keeping her as the Divas title champion. It seems like they're only doing it just to get like viewers, because they obviously, AJ Lee is very popular, even though I can't stand her. She's very popular. She has over 1 million Twitter followers. I mean, little girls look up to her. That's like their role model and everything. So AJ Lee is obviously very popular right now. And Paige, I mean, I really feel like Paige should have just kept the title. But obviously, they obviously think AJ Lee, either Paige is not ready for the title or AJ Lee is just better. I don't know. I really don't know. Either that or they're going to have Charlotte take it off AJ Lee. I don't know. I still would want to see a triple threat match between these three. Paige, Charlotte, and AJ Lee. Oh, God, that would be so good. But that's pretty much that. I'm not sure about the whole Alicia Fox thing. And then I guess we'll talk about the Big Show thing. Big Show, let's see. Now he made an apology. Obviously he tore down, on Monday, he tore down the Russian flag for, in the middle of the ring. And he was supposed to, well, it's actually funny. He didn't apologize. And what I read, I mean, obviously WWE.com apologized to the Russian fans, whatever, people who live in Russia or whatever. And it's funny because I read on my website that it's supposed to be like a joke, I guess. Well, not like a joke, but like it's supposed to be setting up, I guess, the whole thing with him, Big Show and Rusev, because they said that like they didn't even like, it's not even like they were supposed to apologize or they felt like they were supposed to apologize. It's like pretty much setting up so like Big Show obviously gets it's to put on more heat for Rusev and Big Show, I guess. So Big Show obviously refusing to apologize obviously gets Lana and Rusev more mad, I guess, obviously to make the feud better. I'm not really sure what's going on with this thing, but that is the rumor going around that WWE didn't even really, they weren't like sincere when they apologized. Like it was supposed to be kind of almost like a joke. Like it was just supposed to bring the storyline, I guess, more. I don't know. But that's what the rumor is. That Big Show obviously was supposed to he was supposed to refuse to apologize, obviously, and make them mad and all that good stuff. And that's pretty much the same thing. Pretty much. And the Mark Henry thing with him and Mark Henry, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. Mark Henry, obviously, like I said on Monday, he's seriously, it looks like he's going to turn heel. But I'm not really sure what's going on with that whole thing. If he's going to obviously cost Big Show his match, and then obviously Rusev winning, which would be fine, because then Big Show and Mark Henry can then feud, and then Rusev can go on to face Sheamus for the U.S. title. Makes everyone happy. Even though I would like for Big Show to beat Rusev's undefeated streak, because I feel like, obviously, if Big Show doesn't do it, John Cena's going to do it. And you guys know I don't hate John Cena. You guys know I like him. You know, I'm a fan of him. But it really annoys me that it's just like they can't let any newer talent, or, I mean, I know Big Show obviously isn't a new talent, but like Jack Swagger would have been a great person for obviously to defeat the undefeated streak. But it's like they can't let anybody else have like a shining moment except for John Cena. And I know it's not John Cena's fault. It just kind of pisses me off. It's just like, because they made Umaga look like a complete crazy person, obviously a monster, and he was undefeated. No one could beat him. He was ripping everybody apart, and then when he got to John Cena, he lost. And this is how I'm seeing with Rusev. And then you know what's going to happen to Rusev? He's going to drop down, and that's going to be it. And it's just going to be done. He's going to be a jobber, or he's going to get released. And I know that's sad, you know, and I know I might be obviously being mean here, but that is the truth. That's what they're obviously planning. And they even said this too for they're supposed to feud Rusev and John Cena after this whole mess with Brock Lesnar and Seth goes away and all that stuff, when obviously Roman and Brock Lesnar are feuding, and then Roman and Seth for the title. But yeah, he's supposed to obviously, right now it seems like John Cena is going to beat his undefeated streak, and I think that's crazy. I mean, it could be good, because then maybe, I guess, John Cena could hold the U.S. title. And obviously, this is when he first started off. This is when everyone liked him, when he had the U.S. title. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he'll bring the belt. Obviously, he'll bring the belts more potential, but I guess it could be a good. I mean, it's not a good thing for Rusev for him to defeat his undefeated streak, but it's a good thing if he holds the U.S. title, John Cena, I mean, because obviously he's probably going to face him for the title and obviously win. Because we haven't seen him obviously hold that title since he first started. That was his first title. So, and that's when everyone loved him. You know, he was Mr. Rap person, you know, heel, all that stuff. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I mean, it's a positive and a negative at the same time, because I would like to see him obviously hold another belt other than, because you've seen what happened when he won the world. I mean, I was still fine with that. And then they did a unified title change. And it was just like, seriously, like this, I mean, John Cena, it's just like, you're telling me like if he has one belt, like he's still going to be like the #1 guy, even if he has like the second-hand belt, world title belt, which actually that belt is so much better. I'm sad that they got rid of that belt. But yeah, it's a joke. I don't even know. And so maybe now if he carries the U.S. title, maybe he'll obviously eventually, hopefully, stay out of the main event. And like I said, I'm not trying to trash John Cena here. I know it's not his fault, you know. It's just I would like to see the younger talent shine. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I guess we'll get to the big thing that I'm supposed to talk about here. Okay, now if you guys read my title, you've seen obviously I skipped over it, so I'm sure you would think, oh, I know what she's going to talk about. The big thing for this video, the purpose of me really doing this video tonight, was to talk about the Wyatt family. And I know you guys are saying like, oh, didn't you already talk about it? Like, you know, about how Bray Wyatt hasn't been there. Well, yes, but that's not even what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about the whole promo thing, about what they're setting up for. And this is still a rumor. I don't know if it's completely true, but if you guys have not heard, it's on all wrestling websites, including mine. I made sure it wasn't just mine that said this. I made sure it was on multiple before I obviously did a video on this. The rumor is they're finally going to break up the Wyatt family in the next month or so. And I know there's been talk about this for some time now, and I know it might not be true, it might not happen, because like I said, it is a rumor. But the rumor is that obviously in the promos, Luke Harper is pretty much the main person. They're putting the spotlight on him. And I mean, and Eric Rowan, they haven't even let him do anything, so I don't know what's going to happen with Eric Rowan. But pretty much they're setting up, this is what the rumor was too, they're setting up for Luke Harper to turn on Bray Wyatt. And obviously this is what they're saying, like Luke Harper is going to be a heel and Bray Wyatt is going to be a face. And they also talked about this too, like a few months ago with Bray Wyatt's face turn, what they were going to do, how they were going to do it, how they were going to turn the Wyatt's face. Well, I guess this is what they're going to do, obviously, with Bray Wyatt turning face and Luke Harper turning heel. Now, I am all for this. I support this in every single way possible. Yes, I like the Wyatts, but Luke Harper is so talented, and he's a good talker. He really is. He knows his stuff. And I feel like Bray Wyatt, the people are so behind Bray Wyatt. I would kind of like to see him as a face. And I know someone said that it was kind of like he might have to change like his whole gimmick because his gimmick's like a heel thing. Not necessarily. He's going to have to tweak a few things. Obviously, he can't say some certain stuff now, but like he can incorporate it to what obviously when him and Luke Harper feud, obviously if they do, I don't know if this is, like I said, just a rumor, he can obviously put his promos and just kind of like cut and paste to stuff like what he would say to Luke Harper, like obviously, and he could put a little bit of faceness to it, obviously niceness, well, like not niceness, but like not so, I guess, he could still be evil. He could still kind of have that evil stuff. He does not have to change his gimmick. Trust me, he does not have to change his gimmick. He's going to have to tweak a few things on what he says, but he definitely can keep that whole gimmick and personality, the creepy stuff that he does, because Dean Ambrose didn't change. He just turned into a face. He's still crazy. He still attacks people. I mean, and he's a face. And then, I mean, obviously, if he turned heel, he would just, I mean, it's pretty much like how the Shield was. They still were the same people as a heel, as a face, but they just attacked different people. And that's pretty much how I see with Bray Wyatt. He can still keep his gimmick, and I know people are like, "Oh, it's not really going to work." It will. It will. Just give it time. And he obviously is going to, like I said, he can't he can't keep everything, but he definitely can keep his whole gimmick and his whole creepiness way. He's just going to have to change a little bit of his promos around. But I love this. I love this whole thing. I definitely am kind of interested to see Bray Wyatt as a fan, to see how it works out. Obviously, the fans are behind him. Obviously, the fans love him. And from what I heard, a lot of people like Luke Harper, too. They really, obviously not as much as Bray Wyatt, but Luke Harper is out there. And I definitely am glad that they're actually giving him the chance to be a singles competitor, because Luke Harper, it's kind of, it's funny because the Shield, obviously, all three of them were talented. They were all main eventers, no problem there. With the Wyatt family, two of them can be main eventers. One falls short, like really short. I'm not trying to be mean. Eric Rowan, I really don't even know what to say about this. He's kind of like, all I can really see, I mean, they might give him something, start off strong. It depends too on if they just like completely cut the group, or if they put him with obviously Luke Harper, or if they put him with Bray Wyatt. Depends on if they turn him face or heel. But it's just, if he goes single, I'm telling you right now, when he turns into a singles competitor, Eric Rowan, it's not going to be good. From what I've heard, he can't really talk. We haven't really heard him talk. I mean, I haven't watched any of his indie stuff. Maybe I should. Maybe that'll be my homework for tonight. I'll look up his indie stuff if he was in indies. I don't even know where he came from, actually, Eric Rowan. I'll have to do research on that. But I haven't heard him talk. His wrestling ability is definitely not as good as Bray Wyatt or Luke Harper's. He's a big guy. And it's different because Luke Harper, he's a big guy too, but he can do stuff that I have never seen any big guy do, and a big wrestler do in the ring. It's crazy. Like, Luke Harper can do like everything. It's crazy how good he is. And that's what's so strong about Luke Harper. And he can talk. So that is why I see definitely Luke Harper can be a main eventer. But Eric Rowan, I just don't see it. I mean, and maybe he'll prove me wrong. Maybe like I said, I haven't really heard him talk, maybe. But from what I've heard, other people don't think that he falls short too. Like I said, the Shield, all three of them were perfect. I mean, some obviously talked better than others and some wrestled better than others, but they were still all three main eventers. All three great talents. With them, it's just, with the Wyatts, it's two great talents and one that's just kind of, I don't even know. And that might sound mean and everything like that, but I really haven't heard anybody say really that they love Eric Rowan. So I don't think people will get offensive on this video that I do. It's mostly Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper, and I think both of them are great talents. Eric Rowan, I can't see it. I definitely can see him just falling short, either in the jobber or a low mid carder. I mean, he might have like the Intercontinental US. And maybe he'll prove me wrong. I mean, I don't know. And I guess it also depends on if they bring back two titles again too. After some time, if they don't unify the title and everything, and they bring back two titles, the world and the WWE again. Maybe he gets the world. I guess maybe he can win Money in the Bank, and obviously, but I don't know. I feel like that's going to be more for obviously Kenta, Kevin Steen, Prince Deviant, Luke Harper, like all the good talent that's, rising, Bray Wyatt, that's rising, that really needs it. And Dean Ambrose, obviously, he's going to be a future Money in the Bank too. But that's pretty much my opinion on the Wyatt family breaking up. I'm for it. I think it's about time they need to, because they've done all they can. Like Joe said, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan already had their shot at the tag team titles twice. They lost. They're done. Bray Wyatt, he's feuded with every big superstar that he can right now, except for maybe Roman and Dean, but they're busy right now. So other than those two, he's really accomplished everything. He's done everything. I think it is time. I really do. I think it's time for Bray Wyatt to go on his own, and obviously Luke Harper to finally have some spotlight shine on him. And as for Eric Rowan, who knows? Who knows where he'll fall into place, if he'll obviously join Luke Harper, join Bray Wyatt. I mean, you see what they did with the Shield. They acted like, you know, Roman and Dean were still together, and then the next week it was like completely done without no story. Like they just went their separate ways, which was better, because obviously I was so worried. Everyone was just like, oh, they're going to get a new Shield member. I'm like, there's no point. Don't do that. Like, they're all so talented. They're all ready to be on them by themselves. Don't do that, you know? And that's how I feel with the Wyatts, you know? Just because, you know, Bray Wyatt, you know, separates, or Luke Harper turns by himself, it doesn't mean, I mean, Eric Rowan can, you know, I think it would actually make more sense if Eric Rowan and Luke Harper got together and turned on Bray Wyatt. And obviously, because obviously they can say that, oh, they were too hard on him, or he was never appreciative of their work that they did for him, and just, you know, certain stuff like that they can throw in. But for Eric Rowan to join Bray Wyatt, I don't know. I'm not feeling Eric Rowan as a face. Bray Wyatt I can feel as a face. And obviously Luke Harper is the heel. So I think they need to do what happens with the Shield. Eric Rowan just kind of floats away. And I mean, not like literally, but like, I mean, I would still like to see him in matches and stuff like that. Whether obviously hopefully they keep him heel. I shouldn't be too opinionated on this, because I've never really seen Eric Rowan as a face or heel. I don't really know much about him. Like I said, I'm going to do some research after this, where he came from, and if I can find a promo where he does some talking, and I'll maybe let you know more if I actually think he is ready. I still feel like he's not ready. Even if he is a decent talker, his in-ring ability doesn't compare to Bray Wyatt's and Luke Harper's, and that's pretty much where I'm getting at here. He's not there yet. Eric Rowan, he's not there, and I don't know if he'll ever be there. It depends on if WWE gives him a shot, or if he, obviously, maybe if they put him in a new tag team and maybe let him work on his talking a little bit more and his wrestling ability, and then maybe he shines by himself, you know. It's a possibility, you know. Some of these wrestlers, I feel like WWE can definitely give a shot, and they just don't, you know. And it's just like, all they need is the opportunity. They really do. Some of them just really need the opportunity to do so. It's just like they give up on them way too soon. So I am kind of rooting for Eric Rowan. As much as I don't really have an opinion on him. I don't hate him and I don't like him. I just don't think he's there. And I feel like he's going to fall short, and I don't feel like I feel like Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt are definitely going to rise up, and he's just going to kind of like stay in the low mid card. And that's not a bad thing, you know, like me and Joe said, not everybody can be in the main event, and not everybody can, you know, be WWE champion. That doesn't make you a bad wrestler or anything like that. It just means, you know, there wasn't a spot, WWE didn't use you right, or there's other wrestlers that are stronger than you. And obviously, if we didn't have such great talent coming up, like, you know, like I said, Kenta, Prince Deviate, Kevin Steen, then obviously with Daniel Bryan still good. Hopefully, I'm scared about that. I know he didn't get surgery on his shoulder or whatever, his elbow. I think it was elbow or his shoulder. I don't know, but they didn't. It was a pitcher's injury, like what pitchers get. I know that, but he obviously, if you guys did not hear, he didn't get surgery. Like he decided to let it heal by himself. So I don't know. It's kind of scary. Like he's in his, I think he's like 33. So it's kind of scary. Like this whole neck injury. I mean, this was bad. And especially for him, like obviously it was kind of like a John Cena and CM Punk. He kind of had to work through the injury. But it's really sad if he's going to end up having to retire. I hope he doesn't. I don't think he will. But there is a small possibility he will, and I'm not trying to, you know, upset anybody here, because I love Daniel Bryan. I'm a huge fan of Daniel Bryan, and I hope it doesn't happen. But with all these, you know, stars, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, you know, Kenta, Prince Deviate, Kevin Steen, all of them, all these talents that are coming up, even Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville, all these talents that are coming up, and yes, I said Adrian Neville, but all these talents that are coming up, I mean, Eric Rowan, I mean, if he can do more than what they're showing him, they either need to get with the pitcher and let him show it, or he's going to obviously have to prove it to them or something, because time's running short for him. I'm not sure how old he is. I'll get back to you on that. But I mean, it's running short. And it's not a bad thing to be a mid-carder. It's not. There's great mid-carders. Dolph Ziggler, I mean, I feel like Dolph Ziggler is better than a mid-carder. But The Miz is a great high mid-carder too. I mean, it just means that, you know, obviously there's not enough spots, and just, you know, and, you know, because I don't see Dolph Ziggler ever being like WWE/World Champion again, unless they obviously get turn the belts into 2 again. It's just there's too many people up there in the high spot that are obviously WWE's looking at right now for their future. And Dolph Ziggler, he has a mouth on him. He really does. He has a mouth, and I feel like that's hurting him a little bit. But that's all I really got to say here. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. It wasn't as long as I thought it was. As long as I thought it was going to be, so that's good. But I hope you guys, you know, enjoyed my thoughts and everything like that with the Wyatt family and everything. And if you didn't know, well, now I guess you do know. And like I said, it is a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. But that's pretty much that. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, and join our Facebook group if you haven't already done so. And if this is the first time you're watching this and you like what you see, we have great discussions on there. And also, I would like to do a fan video one day. A fan video, like just with your questions and stuff. Maybe I'll do that. With just even if you want to do me and Joe to do one together, you know, just anything that you've been curious to ask me, my thoughts on a wrestler, whatever. Like I said before, I will do a video on that. Like I said, you know, I really want people to be more active in my group. And I know a lot of you're just kind of like, oh, you're just kind of like quiet, and I don't know if you don't want. You're kind of scared to share your opinion, but never be scared. Even if like it's crazy that you think that like Great Khali is like the greatest wrestler in the world, even if it's crazy like that, and I completely don't agree with it, I will respect your opinion, especially if you give me like a great explanation on why you think that. You know, go for it. You know, it's not like I'm gonna throw you out of the group if I don't you know, like your opinion. You can even say Seth Rollins sucks, and I won't throw you out. Yes, I know. Isn't that crazy coming from a Seth Rollins fangirl? All right, guys. Well, I will see you in the next one, and it will probably be, let's see, Tuesday will be my next one, yeah. Tuesday afternoon for Raw. So I will see you guys later, and I hope you have a great one. Bye.